Hi guys, hope you're doing good. So in this video we're gonna talk about the features of pronunciation, relying on the information presented on the book How to Teach Pronunciation by Gerald Kelly. Okay, we're going to see some explanations from the first chapter of the book, which I already have here, the description of speech. Okay, so Gerald Kelly presents us many things about pronunciation in this chapter. For example, he introduced the main features of pronunciation and distinguished between phonemes and suprasegmental features. So today we're going to focus on phonemes and the phonetic chart. In this chapter, the author also talks about intonation and stress, but we are not going to focus on that because first of all you need to know other things so that then you can understand better how the stress patterns or tendencies and the intonation patterns work. Okay, so we're going to focus on phonemes, consonants, vowel sounds, voiced and unvoiced sounds. Okay, so let's start. As you can see on the screen, Kelly talks about many things on this chapter. You're going to find that he talks about phonemes, voiced and unvoiced sounds, consonants, vowels, diphthongs, triphthongs, intonation, pitch, stress patterns. But we're going to focus only on the highlighted part of the diagram, starting with the phonemes. But what does Kelly says about it? He says that in order to study how something works, it is often useful to break it down into its constituent parts. So the following diagram shows a breakdown of the main features of pronunciation. So let's start with a phoneme. We can divide phonemes into consonants and vowels, and also we can divide consonants and vowels. But what is a phoneme? Kelly says that phonemes are the different sounds within a language. And he says that although there are slight differences in how individuals articulate sounds, we can still describe reasonably accurately how each sound is produced. But for those who is the first time who deal with this kind of information and knowledge, how would I describe a phoneme? I would say that a phoneme is any one of the set of smallest units of speech in a language that distinguish one word from another. In English, for example, the s in sip and the z in zip represent two different phonemes. Okay, so a phoneme is the smallest unit of speech. Each sound is a phoneme and is represented by a specific symbol. Okay, so now on the screen you're seeing the phonemic chart, which is divided into three parts. First of all, on the top you have the vowels, separated between monophthongs and diphthongs, and on the bottom you have, in yellow, the consonants. So each of these symbols represents a sound in the English language. These are phonemes. Okay, you get it? But you can ask, how am I going to learn all of these phonemes? Well, the best way in order to get familiar with all the phonemes is to relate them to a word. For example, as you can see on the screen, the first phoneme, E sound, is related to the word sheep. In other example, let's go to the first consonant sound, the sound P, which is not the letter P, is a sound P, is related to the word P. So if you can relate each sound to a word, then it's going to be much more easy to you to learn them all. Okay, so now that you know what a phoneme is, let's go a little bit deeper. Because the set of phonemes consists of two categories, vowel sounds and consonant sounds. However, these do not necessarily correspond to the vowels and consonants we are familiar with in the alphabet, as I said before. The letter P is not the sound P, they are different things. But let's continue so you get this idea better. Vowel sounds, for example, are all voiced and may be single, monophthongs, like a as in let, or they also can be a combination involving a movement from one vowel sound to another, like a in late. Okay? Well, those are diphthongs. Now let's move to the consonant sound. The consonant sounds may be voiced or unvoiced. So it is possible to identify many pairs of consonants which are essentially the same except for the element of voicing. For example, f as in fan and v as in van. Did you notice the difference? F, fan, v, van. The movement of the mouth, the position of the teeth on your lips and your tongue is the same. But there's one difference. The vocal cords are vibrating. So voice sounds occur when the vocal cords in the larynx are vibrated. So it's easy to tell whether a sound is voiced or not by placing one or two fingers on your neck. So now we have talked about phonemes, consonants, vowels, voiced and unvoiced sounds, single vowels and diphthongs, and there's one more thing to talk about. If these single vowels are short or long. Yes, within these 12 monophthongs or single vowel sounds, we can distinguish between short and long vowel sounds. But how do you know that? Well, the long vowel sounds are those who have the length mark. Can you see the length mark on the chart? You have 5 vowel sounds that shows you the length mark. The E in ship, the U in shoot, the in bird, the O in door, and the R in far. Okay, so these are long vowel sounds, whether those who doesn't have the length mark are short vowel sounds, like in ship, U in good, E in bed, in teacher, A in cat, in up, and O in on. Okay? Those are short vowel sounds. So now we have talked about all the features of pronunciation from the left, the ones that are highlighted. Now let's go back to the beginning. Remember that Kelly said that in order to study how something works, it is often useful to break it down into its constituent parts. And that's what we have done during this video. We have talked about what the definition of phoneme is and what are all its constituent parts. So now you can go deeper on reading and check all this information on the net, and you can also check this material. Okay guys, that's all for now. If you want to receive the material, please leave your comments below and I'll send it to you. Also, if you want to join the project, don't hesitate to write me. And see you in the next video. Bye!